Ethnic True Slasher Review.
Are you guys ready to get into round 3?
As ready as I ever am.
I can't wait. Been looking forward to this all week.
Okay, these super duper suck. First matchup.
That's not really a way to gear us up, Mikey.
Dude, these are hard, man. Here we go. First matchup. Alien 1979 going up against the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974.
I'm sorry, what?
Alien versus Texas Chainsaw. This is what we have to do.
Okay.
That's so funny.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Okay, I'm good.
Man.
I mean, this one, listen. If you guys want to talk this one out, feel free. It's easy for me.
It's easy for me too, and I have a feeling it's easy in the opposite direction.
All right. Mikey, I hope you're ready to tie break this one.
Yeah, because
God
I'm
damn
picking
it.
Alien.
Fuck.
It's got to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Fuck.
Welcome to Murder Madness, Mikey.
Yeah, this sucks, man. All right, iconic movies on both ends. Very different movies. Oh, this one's really fucking hard, man. And I had a hell of a debate the other night with, or last night when recording this, with Will and Allie on our Discord. And well, it was actually Allie's Discord for a movie night. We were talking about possible matchups in Murder Madness, and Halloween versus TCM came up, and Will was defending the shit out of Halloween. We went through a lot of different factors, and Texas Chainsaw 2 was another big argument there against Halloween. It's like when you're comparing two things that are so great, you have to start really looking at certain things.
You've got to start nitpicking.
You have to, right? Oh, fuck.
And this was something that I went through because Rob, for a while after we did our first, after we did Murder by Numbers, Rob got really mad at me because I hated Halloween. And it's like, I don't hate Halloween, but like when you get that far into the nitty gritty, you really do have to just like find stuff to complain about. Like that's the name of the game at this high a level.
And Kat hates Halloween. So.
I don't hate Halloween.
Rob, I'm going to let you know now, I'm leaning Texas Chainsaw, but I'm willing to listen. And let me say, the reason I'm leaning Texas Chainsaw is Alien had an $11 million budget. Texas Chainsaw had $140,000 to work with.
Yeah, but Alien looks like a movie that had an $11 million budget. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre looks like a movie that had about $20.
No, Texas Chainsaw Massacre looks like it's real. It looks gritty.
But it objectively doesn't look like they spent any money to make it.
Well, they didn't have it, but still the shit they were able to pull off, man. I mean, come on now.
I'll throw this out here, not going on like the negative route for this, but these are two of the most atmospheric horror movies from the 70s, maybe of all time, actually. Like Alien does a really good job capturing that claustrophobic spaceship, vibe that it's going for, but you really do feel like on the other side of that, you feel like you're there, like in the environment when you're watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Also, like it does a really phenomenal job of just being immersive.
Yeah,
I mean, look,
they're both great movies. I just prefer Alien to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think that Alien, well, first of all, Alien doesn't have Franklin, so you get points for that.
Alien doesn't kill Franklin though, so
yeah, but Alien Franklin's death isn't satisfying enough in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I think that a lot of like I don't know, like to me, Alien is the score is obviously much better. I don't think much of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre score. I think that the effects in Alien are amazing. Now, granted, like you said, they had a lot more money, but like the fucking chest burster, the face huggers, all that stuff looks incredible.
It does.
The design of the
1979,
xenomorph, it all just looks so amazing. Ripley walking around, being a badass. And when I think of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like, it's funny because it's seen or thought of by a lot of people as like this horrible, terrible, gory film and everything, but it really isn't. You don't see much. That's a testament to how well it's made.
Right.
I will say that's my thing with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I say this every time we have a bracket, but there is not a movie that is edited as effective. There's not a horror movie that's edited as effectively as Texas Chainsaw Massacre for making you think that you're seeing things that they are not showing you. Because you still see it on goriest movies of all time lists, and you don't see shit go down in that movie.
That was brought up last night, and that's what I said. I was like, you feel that way because the movie makes you feel that way, and that's how you remember it. It puts you in that movie. And you could say the sets of Texas Chainsaw and Alien are both as effective at, that movie's world as each other. And Texas Chainsaw, granted, they didn't have to make a spaceship and shit, but still, they still pulled that off to the point where it hasn't been recreated to that degree to this day. And Lord knows that poor fucking.
Well, according to you and every other dumb motherfucker on the planet, Rob Zombie did it with Devil's Reject.
But not to that degree, though. Like, he tried to do this. That's what he tried to do, and he did a pretty good job. It's not Texas Chainsaw.
No, I mean, to me, it's Alien. Like, they're very close though. Look, these are both amazing movies. Alien to me is the best sci-fi horror movie ever.
Yes.
So I wouldn't call. I don't really consider Texas Chainsaw a slasher. I know a lot of people do, but I wouldn't call it the best slasher ever. It might be the best hillbilly horror movie ever, though.
Hillbilly horror,
definitely.
The only other one that I could think of that might rival it is Deliverance.
Rob, I'm going Texas Chainsaw, man.
All right. I mean, I'm not hurt about it or anything. I just prefer Alien, but I get it.
And I know Damien Maffei gonna whoop my ass. I don't know. He's in the Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah. This is the one Damien can't be mad about.
I'll make sure he knows about it, though.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll hear about it. But it's really, like I said, when you're comparing two things that are so great, and these are like Mount Rushmore movies, you have to look at certain things that, man, it might have fucked it up. Who knows if Tobe Hooper would have worked it, but give a movie $11 million and see what the fuck they could do, and it might have fucked this movie up where it would have got carried away. Texas Chainsaw,
it would have
maybe.
Probably.
It might have.
It more likely would have. I mean, the genius of Texas Chainsaw Massacre is Tobe Hooper and what he was able to do under those constraints. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I always think back whenever I hear that, I always think back to like Kevin Smith. Remember how great Clerks was? Clerks is a great movie. Great. And then he made Mallrats after that. Mallrats fucking sucks. And that's because he got money to make a movie and he didn't know what the fuck to do with it.
Yeah, but even at that same tone, give him another 100,000 maybe even and see what he can do. You know, like just give him a little more maybe. So, dude, what they were able to create with really not a ton of money is forever lasting and hasn't been recreated on that same level since. We've seen great space movies since Alien. Space horror, none's better. But we've seen, there have been really good space movies since then. Most of them aren't in the horror genre, but there are some. I gotta go Texas Chainsaw.
Well, there've been good hillbilly movies since Texas Chainsaw Massacre that aren't a horror. Fucking Sling Blade and shit. That's a good one. Are you fucking talking about space movies that aren't horror? We talk about other movies that have hillbillies that aren't horror.
Not as good as Texas Chainsaw. All right. The next matchup, that one sucked. This one, The Exorcist, 1973, going up against Halloween, 1974.
Oh, shit.
So one would believe this would be an extremely difficult choice for me. Luckily for me, I have my list.
He's got a cheat sheet.
Rob, real quick about your list. Hang on. that list, we put in there that there was a heavy dose, and we compared it to the Portnoys that we do at the end of our episodes. There's a heavy dose of what we like more. We're talking, I know that plays in here, but this is mostly what's better.
Yeah, but I only go to the list when it's really close.
That's fair.
I mean, I refer to the list throughout because it's fun and funny and to piss you off about Cujo and stuff, but I only use the list when it's really close. These two are really close. Halloween was my number 2 and Exorcist was my number 3. That's how close they are.
But it's 3 movies.
But it is Halloween.
I think it is.
And again, I mentioned before, these are still the only 2 movies that can still really scare me.
I think it is.
If you guys are both going Halloween, am I okay to toss a pity vote? I can't believe we're at a place where I'm tossing pity votes to The Exorcist. Yeah. But are we comfortable if I do that?
We all know you hate Halloween. It's fine.
Not as much as Rob hates Urban Legend, though, Kat. So at least you got that work for you.
At least I have that.
Everybody, it should be mentioned, this is the upper left quadrant.
God damn, I thought we were getting away with it.
Greg said it helped him when I told him what quadrant we were in.
We cannot go around listening to Greg.
We do this for the listeners.
God
damn. Kick him in the dick.
Yeah, we can't clean sweep this one way or another. I think it's Halloween. And it's just really like Exorcist was great, but which one are you going to sit and watch?
I feel comfortable like tossing a pity vote to The Exorcist. If I had to think about this really hard, I'm not sure which way I would go. They're really, really close.
Yeah, I'll go Halloween.
But it does feel really weird to me to not have any votes for The Exorcist is kind of where I'm at with it. The thing is I do kind of prefer Halloween. But then I look at like, and I don't know how much this means, but we were just talking about like the best hillbilly horror and the best like sci-fi horror. The Exorcist is the only good exorcism horror movie.
Right. I mean, we mentioned it last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever, where they've just been remaking The Exorcist for 50 fucking years.
They've just been doing that same shit since then, but worse. And it's like, man.
Well, let's not act like they haven't been making slashers and making some bad ones too, though. There's some bad fucking, there's some bad Halloween movies within that franchise. But I mean, that's what anything.
Yeah, like Resurrection.
Hey, you know what? You see the things you make me do.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
I didn't even want to do that. You made me do that.
I hope you're happy with yourself.
Yeah, I think it's Halloween. Damn. It sucks how easy that is, but I just prefer Halloween so much more. It has to mean something, you know, as I just said about Rob's list, but still it's like there's something about Halloween that I think is just, it was done better. Oh no. The next matchup sucks so bad.
Have we moved down now to the lower left-hand quadrant or?
Yes.
Okay.
The next matchup is Candyman 1992 against Bride of Chucky.
Oh, fucking, what are we talking about? This is probably the easiest one we'll get all night. It's Candyman.
Oh, man.
Look, Bride of Chucky should be proud and is really kind of lucky it got this far, all right?
It is not lucky.
It's a little bit lucky.
I don't think so. Bride of Chucky beat out Funny Games. I think that was a fair win.
It was a lucky win. It was lucky that it went up against Funny Games.
I don't know, man. Bride of Chucky beats a few things in here. Oh, it beat the Leprechaun. God damn it.
See?
Yeah, it beat the Leprechaun and then it beat Funny Games. Yeah,
so it's like that team in the basketball tournament that has a good run because it gets a lucky draw and then it gets to play the team that got the upset in the first round, but then it has to run into some real competition. Candyman, clearly.
Rob, you got to admit, though, there's some shit on here that Bride of Chucky will fuck up.
Like what?
I don't know.
I mean, so far, the movies have been Alien, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Exorcist, and Halloween.
It ain't going to fuck those up, sure. But like Ringu, it'd be...
Oh, well, yeah, if you're talking about anything in the tournament, I mean, yeah,
in the
sure,
90s.
Jeremy Milton's in that motherfucker, but...
There's some movies on here. It'd have made its way through the 90s pretty well, but god damn it. Kat, can you go Candyman officially real quick?
Oh yeah.
Try to Chucky pity vote officially.
I'm a little offended that you didn't make that a sweep. Honestly.
Yeah, a little bit.
Come on. I know. I'm aware. Like I'm clear. I stated pity twice. I'm aware. I'm being nice here. This is my heart. I know what it
Mikey
is.
hates Tony Todd, confirmed.
That is not true. All right. Next matchup, Silence of the Lambs, 1991, going up against 1992's Army of Darkness.
Oh, God damn it.
You guys can talk about it if you need to, but especially the caliber of movie it beat last week, I don't want to hear it. It's Silence of the Lambs.
You didn't even vote for it last week. Now
It's going up against Scream.
it's a better movie than Scream.
Not arguing that again, but come on.
Better is greater than fun, guys. I have to go Silence of the Lambs. I'm contractually obligated. I want it on the record that I would rather sit down and watch Army of Darkness.
That's fair.
It's more fun. I enjoy myself more. I feel better after. But The Silence of the Lambs is a better movie.
Cat hates Bruce Campbell, confirmed.
No.
I'll throw the pity vote to Army of Darkness. It's
All right.
that shouldn't be
fair.
a sweep. If Mikey's not going to let Candyman sweep Bride of Chucky, I'm not going to let Army of Darkness get swept out.
Goddamn. All right. That's going to be an interesting, like these movies couldn't possibly be any more different if they tried to be.
No.
So that's going to be interesting to see how people go on that one. The next matchup. Oh,
I will
shit.
say, when you post the poll, I will probably vote for Army of Darkness.
God damn it, Cat. skewing the numbers. You know, honestly though, like I feel like the Twitter votes are like a different caliber.
That's the thing, is that like when I see a poll on Twitter, I vote for like whatever is the most fun for me all the time.
Yeah.
That's the mindset I approach. It's not something that I have to like discuss and defend. It's
Right.
not being recorded. I can just be like, oh, I fucking love Army of Darkness.
You're not going to be
Have my
threatening to
vote.
get put on a hook on the back of a door from an
Yeah,
actor.
Jamie Buffet's not gonna threaten me.
Yeah, that it's like a scroll past how you feel kind of. Yeah, that's fair. Holy shit though, Rob. Hang on. Wait. I don't get to use this button very often. Robert Humphrey.
Yo.
The next matchup, round 3 of Murder Madness, is Cujo versus The Thing.
Oh, well, easy. It's The Thing.
No, it's not.
No, it's the easiest decision of the night, maybe. Well, Candyman, Bride of Chucky is pretty easy.
Leave Chucky alone.
But this is The Thing all day long.
All right. All my bias of The Thing aside, all that aside, I give it its effects were masterful and ahead of its time. All that I agree. All my arguments to that aside. Dude, Cujo made you feel something that even more of a mood movie like The Thing. Like when I watch The Thing, it doesn't hit those chords of that a lot of people say it hits. But man, Cujo hits every single one and it's undeniable.
One thing I'll say about The Thing, real quick, and Cujo, I guess, is that they're both very atmospheric in the sense that like The Thing is so like frosty and isolated, and Cujo is like very sweltering and ridiculous. And I think it's crazy that Cujo was able to have that effect while also being filmed in a very frigid environment, like the full uphill battle that they had to make that feel like a summer like heat inducing movie is very impressive to me, and I think it makes for a really interesting matchup here environmentally.
Yeah,
that's true.
The Thing has better music, it has better effects, it's shot better. It has Kurt Russell in a badass floppy hat. I mean, what more do you want?
Well, here's what Cujo had. To counter Mr. Russell, it had Dee Wallace.
But she ain't wearing a floppy ass hat.
She's not. But in her prime, man.
And it doesn't have Keith David.
And all this movie had was Dee Wallace, a car, a child, and a happy, playful puppy that they lured to a windshield with toys and treats and made it look absolutely vicious. And there's something to be said for that, man. I rest my case. You guys do what you must. I'm going Cujo.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
It's not better than The Thing. It's the 90th best horror movie of all time.
I will never get over that. Like that's the worst thing you've ever done, maybe.
But it's not better than The Thing.
Jesus Christ. Kat, good luck with this one.
Mikey, I'm sorry. It's
God
The Thing.
damn it.
All day, every day.
Yeah.
I was
That
trying
easy?
to like, yeah, I've been sitting here kind of coming up with stuff to say that's nice about Cujo. It's got Dee Wallace. That's great.
She wished you happy birthday.
I know, I love Dee Wallace. And this is like it's one of her, if not her all-time best performance. Like she absolutely nails this role. There's nothing that I would change about Cujo, but it's not the kind of like from the base level, from the writing level, from the concept level of these two movies, it just doesn't have the scope or the potential of The Thing to terrify. And these are both movies that 100% nailed what they were doing, but The Thing was doing something more impressive.
God damn it.
Yep. And you got Wilford Brimley walking around in The Thing, talking about diabetes.
I will say-
diabetes. God
Out of all of the performances across both films, Dee Wallace gives the best one.
Oh, hands down. That's fair. Yeah.
Like if it came down only to performances, Cujo would have it, but just the scale, the epic scope of The Thing is just, and that lingering paranoia after watching it, you know?
God damn the both.
It's good.
of you.
Just,
Cujo.
Mikey, like The Thing. What is wrong with you?
I can't do it, man. I can't fucking do it. Next matchup. Oh, boy. It's Friday the 13th, part 6. Going up against the Nightmare on Elm Street. Ruh-oh, Raggy.
I mean, I feel like it's Nightmare.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a better movie.
No way.
I mean,
Really?
Friday 6 is a lot of fun. But, and I would say it's more fun than The Nightmare on Elm Street, but I don't think it's a better movie.
Holy shit.
I don't know why you're surprised. I'm the only one with the Freddy tattoo over here.
From that girl you picked up, you and her got it together, right?
About that.
I reminded Greg of that in his chat. Why does Friday, like, why is this? Damn. It's true. Friday part 6 is a lot of fun, but like, that's the kind of movie they were trying to make, man.
Yeah.
Is it as big of a knock?
No, I mean, I don't think it's a knock on the movie
not
that
a
it's
knock.
fun. I love it. It's my favorite in the franchise, but I think it's better than Nightmare, or Nightmare's better than it. Just from a quality standpoint, it's a better made movie.
Is it that easy for you, Kat?
Oh, 100%.
God damn. All right.
I mean, I think it's, it's kind of surprising that Friday 6 got this far, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because it is a movie that mostly relies on being fun. And that's what they were trying to do, and that's great, but
Okay. I feel like I want to throw it a pity. I mean, I probably would have went Nightmare. I was trying to talk myself into the argument because this is like Friday the 13th and Jason just get raw dogged in these tournaments and people get so mad, but it really seems like an easy decision here.
The one thing about the Friday the 13th franchise, and I've said this a million times, even when I declared that it was my favorite franchise, and that is that none of the movies are as good as like Halloween or A Nightmare on Elm Street, but none of the Halloween or Nightmare movies are as fun as any of the Friday the 13th movies. It's a franchise built on fun, and that's great, but they're not, the highest quality films.
Well,
And as Kat's, read the Post-it note, Kat.
Better is greater than fun.
So there you go. If this was about the most fun horror movie, it'd be Jason Lives All Day.
I do want to throw this out here, though, because Rob says that a lot. I do actually think that A Nightmare on Elm Street is one of the most fun franchises. I won't say that it's overall more fun than Friday, but I will say part 6 is maybe the only Friday movie that I think is, well, Jason X, obviously. I think Friday 6 is the only Friday movie with Friday in the title that's more fun than the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, I just have a blast with the first Nightmare. And also it's very well made and scary. Like, it hits all the right notes for me.
I think all the Friday movies are just a lot of fun. I think that's kind of what the franchise is built on. It's just fun. And I get what you're saying, but I don't find the original Nightmare all that fun. And the ones that I do find fun aren't very good movies.
I was just going to say that one could argue Nightmare on Elm Street gets very fun. It's just the problem is the movies are awful.
Yeah, so it's no fun to watch them.
Right. They get too fun and very silly. But all right, so Nightmare moves on. God damn.
Did you officially pity vote?
Yeah, I'll pity vote it,
Jason
but
Lives? Okay.
Yeah, but it's Nightmare. We got Freddy versus Jason back to back as the next matchup is Freddy versus Jason from 2003. This wheel thought ahead on this one. It knew it read our minds and everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
And, we moved through the upper right-hand quadrant. Now we're in the lower right-hand quadrant.
God damn. Gotta start drinking. They can't be drinking cheer wine, man. I need you drunk. You won't notice this stuff.
No, it seems like when I was drinking, I was sharper on the quadrant stuff. I kind of let that slip a little bit.
The next matchup is Freddy vs. Jason 2003 going up against Let the Right One In 2008.
I don't think you could pick two movies that are more opposite if you tried.
In the spirit of not being spiteful about Shaun of the Dead, I will go ahead and cast my vote for Let the Right One In.
Yeah, I'm clearly voting for Let the Right One In here.
Yeah, I'm not even going to give a pity vote for this one.
Yeah.
It's Let the Right.
Yeah. Again, if this was what's more fun,
yeah,
it would clearly be Freddy versus Jason.
And honestly, I watch Freddy versus Jason a lot more.
Yeah, so do I. You don't have to read Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, I'm never in the mood to just like sit down and be like, you know what's gonna bum me out right now?
Yeah. Well, look, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I am in that mood, and I do watch Let the Right One In. But more often than not, I'll watch Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
All right, clean sweep. Let the Right One In, and we're down to we're down to the last matchup for round 3, and it's Trick or Treat 2007 going up against the original Saw. Oh,
listen, I know it's gonna lose. I know I'm gonna be outvoted here, but I'm also gonna be the least anticlimactic about it. To no one's surprise, Saw's better.
Okay.
I feel that strongly.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you feel that, or is it just because you're such a Saw fangirl?
No, I really do feel that.
All right.
I am a Saw fangirl, and I take it to extremes when I start defending 4 and 7 and fighting people on the internet about 5. I get it. I let my love of this franchise really, sway my opinion on this sometimes. But that started because of how good Saw was. Like, Saw was kind of, and Saw's not even my favorite one in the franchise. But it started that whole like chain reaction of me becoming a Saw fangirl because it was so effective. I love the storytelling. I love the tight enclosed environment. And because I talked about it with Texas Chainsaw, I have to bring it up with Saw also. Saw has great editing. Like, people walked away from that like horrified that they watched a man cut his foot off. And that's just not a thing that they show you on screen. Like they did a really good job editing this, and they did it on no budget. And Tobin Bell he was hardly in it, but he was such an icon in it. We've got Carrie Elwes, like, just being the very unhinged Dr. Gordon. Everything about this just works for me. So I genuinely believe it.
All right. Well, I'm in a weird spot here because I don't know what I'm going to do.
I don't either. I'm leaning Trick or Treat, though, I'm going to be honest. And it's because Trick or Treat, it has Sam. It has, like, and obviously the original didn't have, well, I guess Amanda technically was in the original. I don't know. But she wasn't really in the movie. But Tobin Bell, and you have Billy the Puppet. those are icons now in horror as well.
Yeah, that puppet that ain't making the case for Saw. I'll tell you that. I hate that stupid puppet.
They better keep Nick Cage away from Billy the Puppet, though. I'll tell you
You
that.
stop
But
that.
that's a whole nother story. That is one thing though, and it's completely unfair. But because there's only one Trick or Treat movie, but the original Saw, to me, in my opinion, Saw 2 is better. So even within its own franchise, like I would probably be more prone to go Saw 2 over original Saw over Trick or Treat.
Well, there's only one good movie, as we know, in the Saw franchise.
Don't make Cat scream it again.
Rob also likes Saw too.
Stop it, Kat.
Going on record.
That is our secret.
What are you doing, Rob? Do you know yet? Because I'm honestly, because I really like the first two Saw movies, especially the second one. But the first Saw was, dude, that movie was huge.
Yeah, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I really don't. I'm still trying to figure this out. Because I do like Trick or Treat a lot. Like it's a really good anthology that I think plays out in an interesting way, and Sam is cool.
There's something about the vibe of Halloween night too. Like they nailed it so fucking well. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this one up to you, Rob, and go Trick or Treat. Because how many times do we see a corny Halloween themed movie? You know?
Yeah.
Like it happens so often. It's like, man, they really nailed that shit. Like it's become a cult Halloween movie. I gotta go Trick or Treat, but it's slim.
So here's the other thing. I haven't seen Trick or Treat in a really long time, and I'm constantly annoyed by Saw, by just the Saw franchise, and I feel like I'm holding that against the Saw, the movie Saw, which isn't fair.
Yeah.
You can't do that. That is not fair.
I'm gonna pick Saw.
Okay. Saw moves on.
In the interest of being fair.
You can't blame that on, that's
because its fans and everything else annoy me so much that I can't hold that against the movie.
And that's true too, because you see Saw now and fucking
Saw.
You have oh God, what was the one that Spiral? And everybody's on their fences about that, and that pissed a lot of people off. And then the new one, Socks, was what it was, and that pissed some people off too. So
what drove me nuts about Socks was everybody talking about how it was like the best movie ever, and it's like, this is garbage. What are we doing?
but you see, but part of that is because it was able to recapture that nostalgia of the original. Like they were getting back to that, and that's what people really got behind. And it probably did make people overreact because of how big the original Saw was. You couldn't go anywhere without someone talking about that movie when it came out for a while.
I'll never forget sitting in the theater with my son and watching that, and he looked over at me and he goes, "This is really bad, isn't it?"
See, yeah.
Yes, it is. You've done well, son.
That's fair. I'm not mad at that. That's fair. Okay. All right. So round 3 is done.
And again, I haven't seen Trick or Treat in a really long time. I feel like if I rewatched it, I might kick myself in the ass for voting that way, but that's where we're at.
I also keep meaning to rewatch Halloween. The thing is, Trick or Treat. The thing about it is that I don't like anthology movies. And even though I know that this is one that I like, when I sit down to watch a Halloween movie, I'm still like, there are so many of these that are just normal movies that aren't anthology films.
13 of them with Halloween in the title.
Yeah.
But the thing that I do like about and the thing that I like about Trick or Treat though is that it is an anthology, but it doesn't really play out like one.
No.
When you watch it, it doesn't have like that interstitial between or whatever. It's the stories all connect, and I thought that was clever, and I liked the way that they did that. But yeah. It's a very good movie. That was a tough decision.
Might be the year that I rewatch it, though. Yeah,
I rewatched it recently, and it's been longer since I've seen Saw. It's probably been since the 14th of last month since Cat seen Saw, if not sooner.
I will say, sometimes when people say that it's been a while since they've seen that movie, since they've seen Saw, it's just been Valentine's Day. And then I have to remember that not everyone does that.
No one does that but you. You're the only one in the whole world.
I haven't seen Saw since Kat made me buy that box set of all the movies to watch them for this show. So
Yeah, she is. She came in and made you buy
Let's
every
play.
movie in a large franchise and watch them all.
I don't know how you got away with that bullshit, Cat.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, honestly, what happened is I asked if we could talk about Saw because I figured that we would pick like a movie, and Mikey was like, "Which Saw movie?" And I was like, "Any Saw movie, all Saw movies, all the time." And Mikey took that verbatim because it was like the first episode that I had chosen. So Mikey took that really verbatim, and it was like, "Rob, we're watching every Saw movie." And at that point, I couldn't back down because it's like I won. That's the goal. I could just do this one episode and leave, and Rob still has the Saw box set.
Yeah, you know who fucking lost? I'll tell you who lost.
All right.
Thank God for Walmart and their $25 box set or whatever.
All the best of Slasher Radio podcast.